my wasabis, this is Jirbie, and today we have another video about coffee. I'm very much excited to do this video because it's another experiment video, and you guys know how much I love experiments. So for today, I'll be trying to find out whether or not your grinder really affects your brew. I mean, for sure you've thought of this, right? Whether or not your grinder really affects your brew. So for today, I'll be comparing your entry-level Porlex, which has been my entry-level for the longest time now, and this one I recently acquired, as I mentioned in my last video. This is the 1zpresso or 1zpresso JX Pro. So I'll be talking more about them in a bit. So if you're curious to find out how this will go, then please keep on watching. Okay, so for today's brew, we will be using Trails and Traces Colombia Finca La Ilusion, and this one has notes of mango, passion fruit, and cherries. Alright, and as I mentioned in my last video, I actually ordered the 1zpresso or 1zpresso JX Pro, which is this one. It's super huge versus my entry-level Porlex grinder. I ordered this when I was filming my last video, and it actually arrived the same day, which is totally cool, and they even gave that same day shipping for free. So props to barista.ph. Thank you so much for sending it same day. I didn't really expect it. I mean, I was expecting to receive it in 4 days time, 4 to 7 days time, but they graciously sent it to me that same day and for free. So thank you so much. Plus, this is currently on 10% off until the 15th of February. So depending when I upload this video, I hope you guys can still score the discount. Okay, so for today, I will keep everything constant as usual, except the grinder. So we will be using this batch of beans. I have my reverse drippers. I love using this because it's break proof. So let us start. Preheating our filter. I've actually tried brewing other beans off cam, so I more or less have like an idea on the difference, but I just also want to do it with another set of beans. I was able to try the comparison with Sergio Loan beans, so it would give me a better assessment because I've already compared, like, you know, 2 beans. Alright, so let me just check if this is still hot. Maybe hindi na. So let me just put that into a boil. And first, I'll brew 12 grams of coffee each for each cup. So on this side, we have our 1zpresso. This side, we have our Porlex. Oh, so good. Alright, and let's load that in here. Hi, Balt. Hey, Balt. My dog is curious again what I'm doing. What are all those noises? Alright, I think we're done with my Porlex. Okay. And then another 12 grams for the 1zpresso. I did time my grind earlier, so I have an idea how different the timing can be between the two. All right, so 12 grams. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're done. That was really fast. Okay, now that we've done our grind, all right, so let me share with you how it looks like. And here's the grind. Can you see it? So that's fine. And how about this? You'll see it better when I put it in the... All right, so let me just preheat. I would need about 450. We have 500 ml. I'm preheating my thing. There you go. Okay, as usual, we will be using curaçaos. All right, so we used Brita water, heated it up, and then let's start putting in our coffee. It's already been preheated. So for this video, it's just basically taste testing. Okay, I think my water temp is pretty much all right. Let's start with this one first. Okay. So turn it on. And let's put one dot right there. Okay. Start. Okay, that's blue. Pinsa. Okay. And so that's my cat causing some agitation. Okay. Oh, that's about right. And then 90. I think that's about right. And so let's take it away and leave it right there. Next. Okay, start. Okay, I got that. Next is 85. There you go. And $90. There you go, and I'll do a little swirl and wait for it. Okay, and then wait for it before removing it. 5, 4, 3. All right. So you've finished both brews. My gosh, nagkabaliktad na. So things got interchanged. Apparently, I put the 1zpresso here and dito yung Porlex. Okay, so let's just put visual cues so we won't get mixed up again. All right, so here is your 1zpresso side, and now here is our Porlex side. Let us taste first 1zpresso. You know what? I can really taste the difference. And I'm actually surprised because when I tried comparing Sergio Loan beans between two grinders, I really didn't capture much of a difference. I honestly didn't, it was inconclusive for me when I tried these grinders with my Sergio Loan beans. And then I had them tasted by our helpers, and they were able to detect difference between the two cups. And so I got curious, how come I didn't taste anything? But with this batch, I can actually taste subtle sweetness here. Especially towards the end. I really don't know how that happens, and what's the science behind it, but with this cup, there's a hint of sweetness towards the end. And I remember tasting this coffee, using this. I just felt that, you know, it comes off strong in the beginning, and then after you've actually swallowed it, there's some slight feeling of elevation. That's how I described it. But with this grinder, it starts out bold, not bold, but it starts out full-bodied, and then there's a slight tinge of sweetness. No, actually there's like a tad bit of like citrus sour, and then sweet, and then gone. While this would have a lingering end note versus this. And it also has that somewhat bitter like there's the boldness of coffee that you can't really see here. In this cup, you just see the fullness of it. Like you know that it's well-rounded. It's a rounded body versus this. It's a little bit stronger. You would think that they are of different beans, albeit related. You won't really think that they're of the same beans. I'm very surprised. Oh gosh, I think I wasn't able to share with you like I forgot to share with you how it looked pre-grind, I mean pre-wet, but I'll try to show. There you go. It's like sand. And here you can see the consistency is a bit sludgy. There are sludgy parts. So those are the fines actually that are wet. Kaya nagmukha siyang mud and sludgy. Ito, parang mas wet sand yung itsura. Yeah? Ito mas sludgy. Hindi niyo makita eh. Wait, so there you go. Ayan, there! So mas sludgy siya. Mushy even. And then you can see all those like rock particles. So that somehow shows the consistency of the grind. Okay. So I really didn't expect for the taste to be that different. Kasi when I tried comparing using Sergio Leone beans, I honestly didn't feel anything. Nothing like significantly different for me to rave about. But when I use this, and I read somewhere na your grinder can sometimes affect the brew, especially if you're trying to catch the sweet notes. Kasi the more even your grind is, kasi the more uneven your grind is, yung mga fines can let you extract more of that bitter notes, therefore ma-over-empower yung sweet notes. I'm not sure if it makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Kaya yung mga grinder na hindi ganun ka even, they would have a lot of those fines, and you can see it sa coffee bed mo after brewing, na makikita mo, uy, bakit may muddy part, tapos parang sa side, bakit mayroon parang rock salt size. Kasi ganun. Yung muddy part, yun yung fines na nabasa, and therefore they look so muddy and sludgy. While when you grind something that's more even, wala masyadong fines. So parang mas even yung extraction, kaya mas makakapture mo yung level or degrees of the notes versus being tampered or adulterated with a lot of the bitter notes from the fines. So it's amazing. And that's another comment that our helper said. Yung cup na Sergio Leone using 1zpresso JX Pro had a sweet aftertaste. Na sabi hindi niya ma-explain bakit may ganun, pero merong ganun. While the other cup, because I didn't really reveal to them the difference, I just let them taste it. So the other cup is just mapait na strong, and they like that. And then the other cup, merong konting pait. There's pait, but there's a sweet aftertaste. So it surprised them, and then I told them na, oh, it's just the same bean, pero iba lang yung pagka-brew. So that's really cool. I hope that, you know, I'd get better brews from this, especially that I've tried a lot of beans and missed all the sweet notes, and it's really frustrating, like when you buy expensive coffee, tapos yung pagka-grind pala is really a factor. So now that we've settled that, now we have proven that the grind is a factor. I mean, this is something that I've never really thought of. For the longest time, I'm honestly very satisfied na with my Porlex. Kasi, well, it's very light. And this one is, grabe, this is so heavy. I can't imagine bringing this with me like everywhere, traveling. this would probably stay at home because it's so heavy. But it grinds so fast. The burr size is definitely bigger. This is 48 mm. Not sure how big this is, but this is really small. Capacity is small, 20 grams. And this one is 30 to 35. Brewing 2 servings with this, hirap na. Hirap nang ilagay, hirap pang i-grind. And actually, that's the main reason why I got this in an emergency status. Kasi the other day, I had some friends over. So I served coffee and I used this. Grabe, it's so stressful to serve 3 cups with this. As in. And 1 serving, I normally use 12 grams. So 1 serving for this takes me 1.5 minutes to finish it. And so I need to make 3 servings. That's like 5 minutes almost. Very hard. While this, 1 serving of 12 grams only takes 20 seconds. I've timed it. So imagine, 20 seconds lang. 3 servings, 1 minute lang. 1 minute versus 5 minutes. Ang laki ng difference. Price-wise, of course, this is more expensive, but the convenience and, you know, the time saved and the better cup, I think, is worth it. Honestly, this is priced for somewhere close to 8,000. But since I got this on sale, like 10% off, not bad na, happy na ako. This one I got at full price for 3,000 something yata. Basta 3-ish. But I still love it. I don't think I'd like to give it up for now because I don't know, I really like Porlex versus C2. I know a lot of other like newbies are super raving about C2 and I kind of like sticking to unpopular opinions. And so I got this and I'm really very happy with it. Firstly, I like the ceramic burrs. I like the fact that I can clean it with soap and water anytime I wanted to. You can't do that with your steel burrs. You just have to brush it off and, you know, blow it out and that's it. I'm not so sure how like clean you can clean it with that. They say you can actually grind rice to help it clean further kasi nga you can't wet this. And it's not really advisable to use flavored beans with this. There's something going on kapag nalagyan siya ng syrup or flavoring. Merong nasisira sa steel or whatever, nagdidikit, I really don't know, but there are like drawbacks on that. And so I know I can't use flavored beans with this. Not that I buy flavored beans, but sometimes I get gifts. I receive flavored beans that I'm also curious to try. So with those kind of beans, I can use this without worrying. Kasi every time I use this, I can just wash it off and no problem. Plus, I mean, the compactability, the, you know, travel friendly is unbeatable. It's so small, it's so light. This one, I still have yet to order the travel case. It's still very bulky, it's still very heavy. It is close to 1 kilo to carry this around. But the power, the serving time, the capacity is really good for its price. A lot of reviews I've seen say that this is comparable to your Comandante, even comparable to some of the Kinu level. JX Pro is one of the not mid, a little above mid tier unit of 1zpresso. They have a cheaper one at 5,000 or less, so you can get that. But I was really looking for an upgrade from my Porlex, and although I don't really see myself going for espresso anytime soon or anytime in the future because I don't really like espresso, I decided on getting this because I like to try like the top control thing. I mean, I've had enough of the internal control thing with this, so I wanted to try a different kind of control. And I was also able to disassemble this last night. I'm very tinkery, so I was able to disassemble it and assemble it. So for me, it's okay, but I'll reserve all my 1zpresso specific review on another video. So for this, we will just be comparing the 2 cups. Pros and cons, this one is very light. Good entry level for me. I've seen a lot of negative review about C2 being wears very easily. Ito, I've had this and it still looks new. Hindi siya mabilis magkapoknat. You know, you see me tap this all the time. Static, not bad. Parang for me, mas static pa nga ito eh. Static, okay lang. Very compact, easy on the hands. Kaya lang, cons, medyo matagal siya mag-grind kasi ang liit ng burrs, it's ceramic burrs. So, the consistency is not really at par if you have your steel burrs. But it's safe if you are into flavored beans. Super safe. So, I think this is still a keeper. I would still recommend it to beginners. It's not bad. But, you know, if you wanna have... For me, this is the pinaka-entry level. Super no-brainer. The parts are really easy. Easy to kabit, easy to disassemble. Versus this, medyo mas may challenge ito. And that you really have to study it and remember it. If you're like... My personality, I love tinkering with things. I love dissecting and disassembling things. And I like building things. So... To me, it was okay, but I know for most girls, they want everything no-brainer. So this is super no-brainer. As in, super. Ito, medyo merong konting skill na kailangan. And kailangan medyo may strength ka. Ito wala, super easy. So this one, pros, super consistent, super fast. The best price for its quality, I feel like. Cons, it's a little bit heavy. It's a little huge, not travel friendly. What else? Yun lang naman. The aesthetic, this is the reason why I chose 1zpresso. Kasi I like the aesthetic. It matches my stainless steely and the black theme. As you can see, most of my things are like ganon. Ganon yung theme niya. So it matches perfectly. That's why I went to this then. It's actually like a big brother to my Porlex. So it matches well with my overall aesthetic. I like it. It's very minimalist. I like that it has this aluminum catch can, like this one. I'm still new to the screwing thing. Kasi ito, hindi. And I understand you have to be very careful in screwing because there are instances that it might get stuck if misaligned. So, may mga ganun ako nakitang feedback. So, a little learning curve with this. But overall, I'm very happy with the purchase. Especially, I got it at a discount, so that's really cool. I'm very excited to rediscover my beans, actually. Especially now that I realized na, okay, you know, the grind consistency talaga affects the brew. And it can bring out the sweetness of some brew. My next experiment will be using this, and then I'm going to be using my lily drip. Kasi, when I used my lily drip before with this, I really didn't feel much of a difference. And I felt na parang, walang kwenta yung lily drip. But you know, I felt like there has to be something with that. It's just that I'm doing something wrong. So, I'm going to be trying this. And then, same setup, pero yung isa may lily drip. So, I'm gonna be testing that out. I'm gonna be getting another batch of beans na talagang may sweet notes for me to, you know, make sure that I get to capture something. Kasi it's hard naman to capture sweet notes if the inherent profile of the bean walang sweet notes, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a very, very quick comparison video. Let me just take a sip again. It's really nice. So much nicer than... Now that it has cooled down, no? Ito talaga merong lingering aftertaste na wala dito. And that's really something. That's something that I didn't really capture in my earlier cup sa Sergio Loan. And it's very evident here. I'm really happy that this is very conclusive this time. Kasi had I used Sergio Loan beans, this video is a total scrap. But good thing I used this. Thank you so much, Trails and Traces. I still didn't capture like much of the mango-ness, but I can capture like a tint of sweetness. I can capture like some citrusy and winey And it's cool na mas merong sweetness and then there's no bitter aftertaste. So, thank you so much for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any other suggestions for me to compare, don't forget to shoot them down below through the comments. I'd love to hear what you think, and I hope to see you on my next experiment. Bye! Mm-hmm.